episode 18. At first, I was kind of hesitant on watching this episode, and mostly because, no offense to anybody that does, but I personally am not really a sports person.
Oh, I
Me
love
either.
sports. Not
Well, I
playing
don't
them,
hate
Only
but
sport I
watching
like
them.
is only sport I like is hockey, and that's because you get to watch people beat the shit out of each other on ice, and it's accepted as long as you bring the sticks into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like football. But anyway,
I hate Wait, football or American football?
American football.
Those are two
Soccer
completely-
stinks.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No. Both stink. Both suck.
No.
But American football is not football. You don't actually use your feet for most of
Yeah.
it, unless you
Don't-
count running.
Don't care.
It should be
Hand
like
egg is
egg
best.
ball or something. Agree to disagree, because I hate gay rugby. I mean American football.
Now, admittedly, I did like this episode because it kind of showed all that's kind of messed up with sports. The overdoing it.
It depends on who you are. Okay, there are people who thrive on pressure, and there are people who don't thrive on pressure. And that was basically the episode's kind of idea, is be aware that some people thrive on pressure. Applejack and Rainbow Dash absolutely thrive on pressure. They thrive on the competition. Putting them under stress makes them feel good when it comes to sports. Pinky and Fluttershy, not so much. They don't like pressure. Pressure isn't something they enjoy. And so knowing that there are differences in that when you're playing sports. Some people are going to absolutely love the pressure, the consistent practice, the tough practice. And some people are just going to want to play the game, they need to be loose to play the game properly. And so that's the kind of this episode in a nutshell. Is some people thrive on pressure, some people don't.
Yeah.
But starting out, okay, we first right off the bat we get a Bionic Man, Bionic Woman reference, followed by a Hanna-Barbera flop. They seem to be using some Hanna-Barbera sound effects lately, like the sound effects you get. I don't know if there's just a general sound effect, but it's ones I more associate with the era of cartoon and that sort of company making cartoons. That was kind of cool. Now we know why AJ has such refined targeting in Dragon Shy. She does buckball practice. That's why she was so good at targeting in that.
Yeah.
Dash is always up for competition, even if she doesn't know what it is. Didn't know what buckball was. Again, she thrives on competition. But it makes sense that she wouldn't know what buckball is when you think about what you need for a buckball team. She grew up in Cloudsdale. There's not a lot of Earth ponies and unicorns up there. So you can't really play buckball up there. Not only that, the buckball ball might just fall through the clouds and land on the ground below in the moving city.
Now here's like a little side question, but still related. The thing that Spike and Big Mac likes, was that buckball or hoofball?
Hoofball.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think it would have been smart to put him in this episode as a thing. But
Well, Big Mac was in it at least.
well, I mean, more involved.
Yeah.
I wonder how many towns can actually field the team. There's not always a variety like in Ponyville.
True. Most other places are racist.
They just happen to have. There's a bunch of these type of ponies there. You see a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
of
look at the
unicorns
Crystal Empire, for example.
The what?
Look at the Crystal Empire.
Oh yeah. Is there no crystal unicorns?
No?
I think there's only. Well, I know there's no Pegasus.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing Pegasi either.
Pegasi.
pick a side, sorry. I haven't really looked out for unicorns, though.
Yeah,
There haven't been. Crystal ponies are their own species. Like, there's the, instead of 3, there are now 4.
True.
which they're kind of different, more different Earth ponies
Yeah.
with a shiny
Yeah.
glaze occasionally.
Yeah.
They're crunchy.
Yes,
Mm.
but they are not monkeys.
Mm-mm.
That's true.
Okay, here's something that was funny. When Piggy says, they know we're not unicorns, right? She says she has a unicorn costume at home, which is not a huge surprise for Pinky to have a weird costume. But would that be politically incorrect? In Equestria?
True.
Just a curiosity.
Well, not that much. I mean, it's not exactly like
It's not
races
blackface.
here where like you have it's not blackface or the Hindu dot. It's more of a I don't know what it's called, so that's not intentional racism, that's ignorance. But
Yeah.
like that's more of a costume. Like you dress up as Super Mario Brothers, you're dressing as an Italian even though you're not Italian, it's more of that sort of thing.
Yeah, sorry, pause for a second. Doc, if you don't mind, can you check on the live stream? Because for me it shows it's offline.
I was trying, but I can't find a link.
Okay, I'll link you that.
I tried
anyways,
Google-
you can...
I tried Googling it and I have no idea where it is.
Yeah, I'll
won't let me
link
access
you it. But yeah, we can continue while I link it to her.
Okay.
Because I was sharing and I was going to share it, but I couldn't find it.
Not that
Yeah.
I'm particularly interested in PC kind of BS, but it seemed kind of funny at the time.
Yeah, well, at least the good news is at least this is still being recorded.
Yes, it seems
Yeah.
to be.
Okay, so.
Let's see, they recycle the vest from Winter Wrap Up. It's they're very basic vests. They just change the color or just use one of the colors they had.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, my question is how did they get that color for Ponyville?
which color were they?
They were purple and blue.
Twilight lives there. She's purple.
Yeah, but the blue?
It goes with
Yeah.
purple.
Rainbow
Maybe we're-
Dash? I don't know.
Maybe Rarity helped design the things. Like,
Yeah,
"We'll-
she's a secret
we'll
crush
make
on
it-
Rainbow
we'll
Dash.
make it purple like my hair, and then blue. Well, that's like my cutie mark. It's so lovely.
Oh, no. Yeah.
See, Pinky has a bicycle kick. She can do they call it a somersault kick, but I think it's also called a bicycle kick. I could be wrong. I'm not a big soccer fan, and that's mostly where you see bicycle kicks coming from. Snails is apparently a part-time kung fu master with the twirling bucket catch defense.
Okay, so I have a question about Snails. Now, this may be because I really only heard his voice like that one time with the Trixie episode, or maybe another time, but
There were a
Did
few
his
times,
voice
but that's
sound
usually
different?
with Trixie.
What?
yeah, did his voice sound different this
No,
episode?
not especially.
No.
I guess
Although,
it's a-
honestly, I did think it was the other way around, but besides that,
Yeah.
it might just because he actually talked longer in this episode.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I
when
think this is the most he's spoken, like, at all.
Yeah, and when you have a
Yeah.
voice that you're doing, you don't, if it's just one or two off sort of thing, you don't really develop it fully, and so, you start, when you need to do it more, you have to develop it more fully, and so his voice probably is a little different sounding than what you might expect.
Not only that, but he hasn't used it in a while. And when you're voice acting, like,
Yeah.
Even characters like Pinky and the Brain, where Rob Paulson did it forever. You can see a slight evolution, because if it's not your natural voice, it will change over time, because especially if you don't use it very often, because then you just forget how you did it, and you're like, oh, well, it was a little higher, and it was a little, so there will be slight variations.
Yeah. Anyways, I did send the link, just to let you know.
Yeah, unfortunately, my browser. You need Adobe Flash.
Oh, joy. I guess just
because I'm using an abridged browser, because my regular browser won't connect to the internet anymore.
Well, it's not streaming, but it's recording at least, so that's good at least.
Okay. Yeah. One thing I was thinking of as an explanation for, with the way he does that bit, maybe Snails is Snails because he does Tai Chi. It's all about slow movements and perfecting those slow movements before you move on to doing them quickly. Maybe he's secretly, into that sort of thing. Or maybe he's just...
Sounds a bit like a stretch.
Yeah, but it's a funny headcanon.
I think he's Snails because he's slow in the head. But that gives him plenty of room for instinct.
What's
and
fun
as
about...
he said, it's instinct.
Yeah. What's fun about Buckball is, thinking about it, you could actually play it as a real life sport.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, not to the extent they can, but...
Yeah. I mean, but...
It's basically a cross between basketball and baseball.
Yeah, but the only difference I would make would be, of course, you'd only use your legs, no hands, but the only difference I would make would be the balls. Instead of making, hard soccer balls, do this, little small beach balls.
No, use dodgeballs.
Yeah, they're soft enough.
That's
and
what
bouncy enough.
They looked like they were using basically dodgeballs.
Yeah, the screen picture right now is AJ holding a buckball, and it's basically looks exactly like a dodgeball, and it behaved like a dodgeball, like a
Dude,
small
I'm totally
dodgeball.
gonna get friends together to play it. It'd be so much
Although
fun.
I think it would be more along the lines of the earth ponies can only use their feet, and the Pegasi would use their hands, kind of like the
that's what I mean, you got the kickers, the earth ponies, and you got the blockers, the Pegasi, and you got the unicorns, the basket holders.
Yeah. You could definitely set it up. The real skill player would be whoever's pulling off the earth pony stuff, because they got to kick it in there. The rest of it, I think the problem would be it would be really hard to do that unless you were really skilled with your legs. You could the basket and the blocker, they can do they got it pretty easy. In terms of skills, but your offensive bucker is...
And if you notice, the goalie, the Pegasi, could also make the goals on the other team.
Yeah.
True. Now, this kind of brings me to another question. As in, the team is a Pegasi, an earth pony, and a unicorn. Would that mean that Twilight Sparkle would be like the ultimate team? Since she is all three.
I think I wouldn't put her.
Yeah,
in the,
but she's
I wouldn't
not
put her
that
in the
great
bucker. I wouldn't put her in the bucker position. She could probably do well with the catching, and maybe not the defending. She's not fast enough for that.
No.
But
No, just have her do all three things.
No.
Yeah, it's saying
that
offline for me too.
Make like Twilight clones.
She could technically probably do that. She could, I mean, mimicry spells are easy.
She technically has, if you count the time travel.
No, I'm talking more along the lines of illusionary duplicates.
No, I know what you mean.
But yeah, I wouldn't. I'd put her on unicorn duty simply because that's probably her forte. If I were building a team around her. Something that I thought this episode was going to be about, that I'm kind of glad it wasn't, because it does show a little growth. I mean, the pressure thing is, some people enjoy pressure, some people don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a much more refined lesson than the lesson I was afraid we were going to be getting, which was AJ and Rainbow
Don't disappoint your friends.
resenting Pinky and Fluttershy for their talent.
Yeah, I was kind of having feeling it was going to lean towards there too, but I was also glad it did not.
Yeah, because that shows so much growth for Rainbow especially, but Applejack to a certain extent as well. Because they're both very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Rainbow Dash may be more than Applejack, but she's pretty competitive too. So I was glad to see that they were like, no, you should play. You guys are really good. And that was really mature, and I was really happy to see that.
Although, to be fair, they're also competitive and know how to win. And that's why they wanted the other guys to play.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's different levels to competition. I need to be in the competition, or I want us to win the competition. There's
exactly.
There's two different levels of that. There's kind of selfish competitiveness, and there's I want the team to win competitiveness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, there are people, they're my team. Let us win.
Yeah. It's a team effort. We gotta work together to get this thing done. I don't care. I don't care if I'm not the headliner, but as long as we win, we win. I'm gonna put us in the best position to do that.
Yeah.
And then Dash and Applejack go immediately into overpressure on Fluttershy and Pinky, taking away what was fun for them, which puts the pressure on them, puts the strain on them, which makes them tight, and they can't really perform when they're tight. They have to be loose and and free feeling.
If I could say though, I did find it funny that it's basically the entire episode is Andrea Liebman against Ashley Ball.
Oh my God.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it's.
They spent the entire time talking to themselves against each other.
Yes, Liebman is bullying. No, Ball is bullying Liebman.
Yep.
I mean, there's also the aspect that confidence is a big part of winning, and when you put that much pressure, confidence can be a problem. When you don't have confidence,
no pressure, but the entire town is rooting for you, and if you let them down, and if you lose, you're gonna let the entire town down. You don't want that, now, do you?
Reminds me of Pinky and Philly Vanilli. They'll all turn on you, and which in hindsight is funny with this episode. I didn't think of that while I was watching it, but that did bring up that thought. It was like Pinky internalizing that monologue she gave Fluttershy, and is Fluttershy remembering that one? Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
Of course, they get the crowd because they didn't understand the pressure. And we get face painting, which is a relatively new thing with ponies. I think we got a little bit of like war paint in the and over a barrel, but other than that, we haven't seen a lot of like pony face paint, and that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Something new.
And Also, this episode, we saw Bulk Bicep's sister.
I thought cousin, but yeah. That the Pegasi from Appaloosa. Though I wonder how. At this point, we just kind of assume that anyone who looks like that has got to be related to Bulk, because there's only one.
You know who that reminds me of? If you guys seen Full Metal Alchemist,
Yes.
I think his name was Hans, the big bulky guy.
Major.
It's been so long since I've seen it.
You mean Armstrong?
Armstrong, yeah. And then his sister, who was the leader of the
Yes.
Frozen North or whatever it was.
Yeah, I know her. Yeah.
And
she's cool.
Yeah, I think his name is Louise Armstrong.
Really
yeah. But you guys know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Those two, because I just...
And how she just kicks his ass.
This buckball technique has been passed down the Armstrong line for generations. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Now it's going to drive me nuts until I look that up, what her name was, but I'll do that later.
I think it was something simple, like Amy or something.
I'm like 80% sure it's Amelia.
I don't think it was either of those, but... Well, y'all aren't streaming. You go look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, like, the motivations for the two different groups are very different. Winning, competitive driven, and just having fun. And so that's the big kind of takeaway, I think, is pressure is different for different people. Though we get the most just Fluttershy just pulling face after face after face when she's talking about being in the zone. And she's
God, yes, that. I love that part so much.
So many new faces.
Well,
is like, I mean, I think some of them are stolen from Rainbow Dash, but it's the same idea.
Well, Armstrong's voice
Olivia.
was... I mean,
Olivia Armstrong, I think, is the name of the...
Well,
yeah, Olivia
Armstrong
Mira
is
Armstrong.
Alex Louise Armstrong is the main Armstrong.
Well, it depends on which way you look at it and other events in the series, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's Olivia Armstrong.
Yeah, it is. It's Olivia Mira Armstrong.
Yes! Full Metal Alchemist knowledge here. Alright, didn't even have to look it up.
It is... I haven't seen it since... Well, I saw the first version before Brotherhood even came out.
Yeah, I saw
And then
both.
I saw Brotherhood, like, right after it came out, so I haven't seen any of that, like, in, like, forever.
I watched Brotherhood
Like,
as
totally.
it was coming out, so...
Yeah.
That was cool. Let's see. AJ and Dash figure out about the pressure thing. Rainbow Dash even says some ponies thrive on pressure and some don't. And something that's very snails. I don't think about anything. Ever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
snails. Why do you have to be so... anyway.
Yeah, but if you think about it, that's how it works. It works because he doesn't think.
Yes. He clears his mind. And that allows him to
And he
have
works
his
off of
bucket
instinct.
his bucket foo. Yeah.
It's buck foo, okay? Buck you.
Though I'll have to say, him advising them not to think about things, it's like telling someone not to think about pink elephants. It's like, don't think about pink elephants.
Thanks a lot.
Now you can do nothing but think about pink elephants. I have...
Actually, I'm not thinking of pink elephants.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
Because
thinking
first
green
of all, it's been
elephant.
so long since I've seen Dumbo. Like, I don't even remember the song.
well, I mean, it works on most people. If you just say, "Don't think about pink elephants," they're going to think about pink elephants. It's just going to happen. And so I imagine many of our audience members are annoyed at me now for making them think about pink elephants, unless they like pink elephants. That's a
Oh,
possibility
don't
for the
worry.
nerds.
Maybe they have a pink elephant fetish.
Don't worry. Coming to the late night stream, I'm gonna make you think of something else other than pink elephants.
Oh dear Q.
We already covered Bulk Bicep's cousin lives in Appaloosa. AJ was a little less than gracious at the end of it. She was a little bit of a poor sport at the end when Brayburn is trying to be gracious in defeat, and she was kind of just rubbing it in, and that was kind of. I was not happy about seeing that bit, but otherwise, it was. Especially since he was gracious in defeat. You know, if he'd been kind of a jerk about it, then, you know, kind of rotten grape. The
Sour grapes.
yeah. Ugh. Tongue got tied up in knots.
You're
if he was-
just
if he
so
was-
torn up about your precious pony being evil for a moment.
But yeah, if he'd been more sour grapes, that would have been a fine response. But he was very gracious about it, so I think she went a little far. But she is competitive, so it's not super surprising.
Yeah.
Anyway, anybody else have anything? I think that's the end of my notes. I didn't have as many notes on this episode. It really didn't have a lot of super detailed stuff that was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm really pointing this out. I do always like the small details they add in episodes, especially like in the background where like in the train where you could actually see the pony's eyes moving when they're reading the paper.
But
I mean,
and when
most
they sneak in
cartoons-
jokes.
I noticed.
Yeah.
I think Lyra and Bonbon had a little falling out or a tiff because Bonbon was without Lyra this time.
I know, it's terrible. But I mean, like you get most
Maybe
cartoon
she's-
shows.
Maybe she's on another secret mission with
Smile.
for Celestia's team,
She's with
secret
Smile.
organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
What excuse would she use for Lyra? It's like, sorry, sweetie, I have to go. All right, it's another top secret mission, isn't it? Yeah, it's another top secret mission. Can't tell you the details. Ciao.
But I mean, with most cartoons, they kind of half-ass it, and they just make all the background characters motionless.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
if there are no further comments, it was a decent episode. It wasn't spectacular, but it wasn't bad either. It felt a good lesson, a small lesson, but a good lesson. It
Yeah, this is a-
followed what it was going to teach up very well. It was simple but effective. It didn't give a lot of confusing points. So, that was Buckball season.
I think it was more just pointless. That's why it didn't give a lot of points.